Manus flat on the canvas. We are ready to rock and roll. Second round of action. There is a cut on Manus.
Jesus.
Martial art chat.
Like my man B-Hop, he got dropped out the ring last night. I need a little judo baby. I need me a little judo baby, and let's do it, Rhonda. Let's hit me up.
I see you were filming this. You've got a face for radio.
I've got a face for radio.
That's nice.
Martial arts chat.
Martial arts chat.
Martial arts chat.
Martial arts
Chat podcast is sponsored by A1 Fight Gear. A1 Fight Gear uses the latest cutting-edge boxing gloves for professional and amateur fighters, gym enthusiasts and kickboxers. Local and national gyms in the UK, do yourself a favour and check out a1fightgear.com. And if you're wanting to get into shape, get back into shape, then go to beastgear.co.uk. Use the coupon code MartialArtsChat to save 15% off your purchases. They've got core sliders, straps and barbell pads and complete strength and conditioning programs to suit your needs. We are also sponsored by Feel Supreme. FeelSupreme.co.uk offers CBD oil and natural nutrition. They will assist your progress in diet and lifestyle. Natural supplements and complementary services such as yoga, mind coaching and weight cutting programs. Finally, we are also sponsored by World of Martial Arts Television. WOMA.tv produces, finds, acquires, commissions and presents all you ever wanted to know about martial arts. Hello, my name's Chris Allen, and this is the Martial Arts Chat podcast. I'm being joined again, returning to the show. It's Mr. Kent, the Hammerhorn Kauppinen. Actually, I'm going to rename you to Kent. I stole my dad's slippers before the night of the fight at Kauppinen. How you doing, mate? All right.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on, man. Thank you.
No worries. Well, people are going to know straight away, obviously, why I've changed your nickname to that one. So, tell them the story of what happened when we spoke to you at the post-press conference. We noticed the select footwear.
They're very comfortable footwear. There's selective with good thought behind it. So I popped round and saw the old deer and my father and my mother, it's just I always hide stuff and move stuff, and because that's what I'm talking about. I'm very very cheeky. Like just a quick diversion off the story. My sister's friends were house sitting, so one day when they were out. I went round and moved and put the shoes on top of the doors. Just that's the type of person I am. I just mess around with people. So I saw his slippers and I picked them up and I took them. And I was just like, well, I've got them. I might as well wear them in there now. And it was a great choice because it was, like I say, it slipped on, slipped off.
Cool, you're an OCD person's worst nightmare, aren't you? Moving stuff
massively, around. Yeah. And if I knew you were OCD, I would move stuff around.
Literally, all you got to do is just switch the salt and pepper around, mate. You know.
Oh, is that you? Are you OCD?
No, I'm not at all, mate. No, but I'm just thinking of ways I could fuck with people now.
Yes. The way I can mentally hurt someone.
That's it. Like, say I'll do their driveway for them, and I'll put one block out of sequence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they walk in there every day. They notice something's wrong, but they don't exactly know what. That would be the real mental challenge.
That's it, but have you given those slippers back then?
Yeah, he got new ones for Christmas.
Oh, did he? What happened to him? Did your dog eat them?
No. Fallon's great, man. He's actually not a chewer. But no. So I wore them, and to be fair, he was never getting them back anyway. I was always going to buy him a new pair of slippers for Christmas because I knew the ones I stole they weren't in great condition and they weren't actually that comfortable for slippers. So I bought him a new pair, and when he's like, "Yo, where's my slippers?" and I was like, I chucked them in the bin. And he's like, "Well, he's sorry." He said, "That's no problem," because he went down and bought some anyway. And I was like, nightmare. So now I've got two pairs of slippers hanging about. So he's got two pairs of slippers. Sorry.
You should have kept them. They could have been your good luck slippers. You should have worn them. You should have walked out to the cage with them and everything.
Well, no, I told him they're in the bin. I didn't tell him where they actually are.
God, I hope don't listen to this.
They're in my bedroom next to me. Don't you worry about that.
I want to see you walking to the cage in them next time, man.
Oh no, 100%. They are the walking to cage slippers now.
Did you wear them this time?
Yeah.
I didn't notice. Did you wear those slippers walking into the cage this time?
Yeah, that's the reason why I had them.
Oh,
in the,
sorry, mate.
In the press conference. Yeah, no, yeah. You
I
could,
thought you just went out and got checked out by the medical team, whatever, and then someone brought you a pair of slippers, save you walking around in your bare feet.
No, yeah, no. I walked out with them.
Oh, right, I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. My coach was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm wearing Popsy slippers." He's like, "Why?" And I was like, "I stole them. I'm gonna wear them now."
Brilliant, mate. No, do you know, none of us in the media room knew that at all.
Oh, really?
No, because remember we asked you the question like at the end of the the chat we're having with you. We quickly panned down to your feet, and you were talking about your sponsors, and we said, "Oh, who sponsors your slippers then?" And then you just told us that you stole them off your dad. We didn't actually realise that you walked out. Maybe some of them realised, but from where we're sitting, we can't really see it.
Yeah, of course. I guess not. Okay, yeah, no, yeah. They made the walkway.
That's amazing.
I think that might be. Hopefully, I'll be the first. But I am the first one who's done that.
Maybe. Well, we had Terry
cool.
Brazier getting danced out by some dance crew. You know what I mean? Now we've got you walking out in your slippers. What's next for Bellator?
The slippers is definitely above the dance crew.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
For sure.
I'd rather see some sexy, stylish slippers than some sexy female dancers, and Terry Brazier half naked.
I don't know, mate. I prefer the slippers instead of half-naked men, but I'll leave that one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll leave that one up to the audience to decide what they want to do on that. So, mate. Well, first of all, obviously, it was great to be back in Bellator again. You weren't going anywhere else. Like last time we spoke, you knew your next fight would be there.
Yes.
So, one thing I'm getting a bit confused about with some of your fights, actually, I want to change subject. I go on the Bellator app, right, and they say he's a welterweight. Then I go on Facebook and he's ranked in the light heavyweight division. I'm like, okay. And then I go on Wikipedia and you're a middleweight. I'm like, right. I know he likes to take any fight. I know you don't care who you fight, where and when, but that's really spreading it out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw that as well. It's a bit mental, isn't it? But yeah, like I said, I will. And before I got into the MMA side more seriously than I was, I mean, even like properly, I was just taking any fight. So when I fought Fabian, it was middleweight. And I was like, yeah, cool. I think 3 or 4 months before Fabian, I fought for a light heavyweight title on a show called Raged.
Yeah.
And then obviously after Fabian, I fought Walter at 77, welterweight. He got offered it to me, and I was like, yeah, cool, I'll take the fight.
What was that like, by the way, for you getting down to welterweight?
Won't ever happen again.
No, was that painful?
Yeah, it was the wrong decision because I'm naturally, I walk around naturally at 91, 92, 93.
Okay, yeah.
And if I cut, I don't even really cut to 84. I just, where I up the training and where I eat really clean, the weight just drops to 80, 86, and I just cut a bit in the sauna. And that's the easiest way. But when I was going to 77, it was like, well, crap, I've got to find another 6 kilos.
It's a lot.
And it was. I died and I made the weight, but I was so skinny and so weak. And the last time I think I fought welterweight was when I was 19, 20, which obviously at that age I was a natural welterweight.
That's crazy though, isn't it, mate? Because you're not a small guy, as we can see. You were in there against Melvin, for God's sake, and he's not a small bloke. Imagine Melvin trying to cut to welterweight. Oh,
yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. He walks around at 94, 95. So it's just, same scenario for me and him. That weight cut is too much. I know people do it. I think Craig the Thundercat White. I know, and then my friend Phil Wells. Phil Wells fights some Scorpions. He cuts from 90, 91, 92 down to 77, and he does it easily. No, I can't do it. I won't do it. Like I can't perform at high level when I've lost all that over the period of 4 or 5 weeks. Where right now I'm just training and I get down to like 86.
Well, yeah, but at your heavier sort of weights, when you're obviously more successful there, as well. It's because you feel comfortable. Like you said, you're walking around 92, 93. What weight class, ideally, if you could get put in division to get continuous fights, like would you fight in?
If there was an extra weight class, so if they had one at 82, then they had one at 86 or 88, that would be perfect because I could cut and sit, and I'd happily sit at my walking round weight. But like if I can't fight light heavyweight guys at 6'6". Cutting from 100 kilos down to 93, and I'm walking around at 92, 93. And then when I train, I lose the weight, and there's no way I can eat that much to keep putting it on because of how much I'm training. So it's just it's not possible to fight like heavyweight. But I still would. Don't get me wrong. If it was the right fight, like Manoff and Sakara were the right fights.
Yeah.
If matchup style wise, I'm happy for certain fights. I'd happily I'll fight like heavyweight. Now I'm being more sensible about it.
Fair enough. Well, as I said, you got to do what's best for you. You don't want to be unhealthy weight cutting. You know, it's people say that they do it easily and stuff, but you got to think what's going on to your body while you're doing that. And and I know it's a long ongoing discussion, but everyone should fight at their natural weight class anyway. And it looks like you found yours. You're not struggling. If you struggle to get to a weight, you probably shouldn't be there.
No, and I 100% agree. And I know so many fighters who think it's the way forward. And my boxing coach, Mark Kent, him and I had a massive discussion on it, because I was like, I'll cut that to 77, and he was like, no, sit. He's like, don't worry about cutting the weight as much, because it's the more weight you cut, the more drastic impact and effect it will have on the body.
Yeah.
Where if you don't cut and you just do it naturally and that's your fighting weight, then that's what you're best at.
Yeah, for longevity as well in your career. You don't want your health bar going down quicker.
No, exactly. I say I'm 28, and I don't want to get to 32 and be like, fuck me, these cuts are killing me. I got to move up a weight category and then get used to a weight category again. Where right now I'm like, do you know what? I fought twice at light heavyweight, but I know middleweight is a very, very comfortable position for me.
Yeah, you'd never take those light heavyweight fights back, would you? Ever? Look at the two massive biggest names.
No, never, no. I wouldn't, no, because again, like the Sakara one set me up for this opportunity of a lifetime.
That Sakara one was great, man.
And what a moment for me, like, because I was, like I said, like previously before that, I was working in every job I could just to make some money, and now I've been given an opportunity where I can make some money doing something I love.
That's it, man.
So it was a start of a new journey for me, which was amazing.
That was great. You probably got... No, don't take this the wrong way, but you really did just get thrown to the wolves, didn't you?
No, trust me. I knew what was going on. Like,
I know we spoke about it before, but you know what I mean?
I knew what was going on. And hey, that's the world. That's sport. That's the same in anywhere you go. Like, but they, at the same time as me getting thrown to the wolves, they've given me an opportunity, and it's whether that person takes the opportunity.
It's true. Like, do you know what? Actually, I thought about something the other day. I was watching, there was an ESPN thing with Dana White, like, end of the decade sort of thing. And he was talking about, trying to stick up for Conor McGregor, saying he'll fight anyone at any time, because he says, I've got so many people on my roster, and trust me, he goes, there's a lot of people that won't fight anyone at any time. They won't come in last minute, they won't do this and that. So that's obviously what these big names are looking for, aren't they? This is why you're still getting these big fights. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think, and also I'm game. Like, it's not the fact that I'm there going, I'll fight anyone, and I won't turn up. It's the fact that I'll fight anyone on any short bit of notice, and I'm going to turn up. I'm going to put on a show, because I know now, because of the Manoff fight, I know the mental side, how to work that out, because obviously I fought against someone who I idolised, and I mentally beat myself before getting into the ring.
You still dropped him though, mate. No disrespect to Melvin.
No, and of course, and it was a great fight, but like I said, mentally, I was happy to be there. So now I know to take that side of my feelings and emotions away from it. Like, I will make sure whenever I step into that ring, the only thing I've got in my mind is winning. And I think Bellator know that now as well.
No, well, they definitely realize, and so they definitely must be starting to know who you are now, especially beating these big names. And you also got to think, in the media room, everyone's talking about, it's the Ken Kauppinen fight. He's fighting again tonight. He's fighting again today.
Yeah.
So your name's definitely starting to go around.
And that's great. Like, I don't hear that side of it, because obviously I'm not involved in that side of it. But like, I know you, and I appreciate you a lot, because you, Chris, spend a lot of time talking to me, messaging me, and asking how I'm doing. And that's why I give you the time, because you're good to me, and you try and put my name out there as well. And obviously that's the goal for me, is get my name up there to the point where people are going, actually, I want to watch this Ken Kauppinen. Let's see what you can do.
No, that's it, mate. I'm happy to do it. You know me, mate. It's more. I appreciate chatting to you anyway. To me, it's self-rewarding.
Yeah, thank you.
It's all good, and I love following all your guys like lives and stuff as well on Instagram. Without sound like a stalker, you know, my favorite video of one of your favorite videos is of you on, I think it was on Facebook, Instagram, one of those ones where you're doing the Lion King thing with your dog. You're like, no, that was it. You're like, Simba, and you're like, no, Mustafa. What was it again? Where you threw the dog off?
Honestly, do you know what upset me the most is I didn't get the near amount of reactions I wanted off that.
No.
Like, I thought I was like, this is great. Like, he looked so innocent, and I just pushed him off.
That was it. It was the Scar. It was the Scar and Mufasa scene, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was it. Right.
Yeah, Mufasa, no, and then let him go. And honestly, I think like you were probably the only one who commented. And I was like, I thought that was so much better.
That was great. I fucking love it. Everyone's going to think I'm like your little bloody like little
Yeah.
roadie now. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, that's fine. I don't mind.
You've got a lot of followers, mate. Do you know what I mean? Trust me, there's a lot of
Yeah,
people.
I'm getting there. Like, I'm getting there. And if you know me, like I am the least person on social media. I hate it. Like, but I know I need to give out a bit of my life for people to see what I actually am, like my character, and I get that. So I do that for that. Otherwise, like I said, I don't sit on my phone. I'm very hard. If I look at a phone, if I look at a message and I see it and I need to reply, I'll reply. If it's one of those ones where I can wait a few days, I will.
Yeah, man. No, that's it. You do always respond. To be fair, I see you respond to all your fans when they leave comments and things as well.
100% always. And like I say, as soon as I fight, the next day, I spent 3 or 4 hours on the Monday night. I went climbing on a Sunday and I spent 3 or 4 hours on the Monday night just replying to everyone.
Well, that's just got to prove to you straight away that you're getting popular, surely. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. No, it is. And I say it's great. And I say that's why I do it, because like if they're going to take their time to message me and say what a good fight there was, and I'm going to appreciate the fact that they're going to take their time to message me.
And it's also because you come, as you say, you come to fight, you put on a good fight. You don't come there half-assed and just, you know what I mean? You come on and you swing for the fences, but with skillfully, obviously. And you put on good fights as well. Like people aren't going to ignore that. You know, it's easy to like love a champion who's like a wrestler, like no respect to wrestlers, but won't do much damage and hold you down for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
You know, you got people like Khabib who are the opposite of that. He'll hold you and beat you and finish you whenever he wants.
Make you pay.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, yeah. He just wants to hurt you, that guy.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. So people like that style of thing. Well, obviously, people want to see your style, the fight anyone, fight anywhere. You know, and as I said, I didn't mean to mention it again, but that's the sort of same thing McGregor did. You know, he will fight anyone, anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's what the fans like.
Yeah, of course. But the only downside of me is I won't call people out, because
you don't need to. They get it handed to you.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I hope that's what we want then.
Well, it sounds like, don't take this the wrong way again, but it just sounds like you're not their last choice. I'm saying, but you're almost like, shit, we've had someone pull out. Shit, what's Kent doing? You're almost that person, aren't you? Like, what's Kent up to now? If you haven't already got a fight arranged already, that is.
Yeah, that's I'd happily be that person as well. That's why one reasons why I'm staying. Like, I'm probably about 70% fight fit, so I'd only need 2 to 3 weeks. So if at any point there is a cancellation, I'm looking at the Bellator pages hard, like, and looking at the Instagram, Twitter, just to see if so and so's pulled out at middleweight for a title fight, or so and so's pulled out middleweight co-main event. I'd be there.
Yeah. How about if Rampage pulled out against Fedor? You jumped in then, put a bit of weight
100%.
on?
Yeah, Japan, flipping right.
Against Fedor? Oh, fuck that.
I just get on the scales with some ankle weights on. Mate, I'm honest. No, I love Fedor's amazing, and I love him, what he's done and that. But I would have fought him against Rampage overnight, yeah.
Did you see Rampage? I love Rampage Jackson. He looked like he'd been eating the McDonald's drive-thrus.
He's been he went to the gym and he just sat at the vending machine.
That's it. He did pull-ups at the vending machine and just poured it out.
And again, I love Rampage. Like, what beast? But he shouldn't have stepped in.
Did you see the fight?
Yeah, no, I watched them all.
Yeah, man, it was yeah, you could tell Rampage, too much weight there. He didn't have his same accuracy or anything, was it? It was just a bit swinging.
No, and the thing is, if he lost the weight, like he said he's going to, then he would still have it. It was just the fact that he was not used to being that weight.
Yeah, he said he felt like a hippo or something, didn't he? Or something like that, or an elephant.
Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me. He looked like one.
I'm not going to say that to him. You're more likely to walk past him in the dressing room.
No, but I say it with love. I'm like, look, Rampage, I love you. Like, yeah. there's no heart, like, disrespect in this. Like, you're big.
Yeah, You're big, man. Have a pair of slippers. See you later.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll just start offering people slippers. Like, I'll be the guy who makes them comfortable saying that you look fat.
Oh, God. But yeah, but wouldn't it be cool though? Like, it's not nice to see people pull out, but imagine if you managed to get like on that Hawaii card. Imagine that, man. Getting to go to Hawaii.
Of course. Like, I know. Again, it's not nice to see people pull out, but it would honestly anything I would jump in at.
That's it, mate. That's it. That's what people. Again, that's what people want to hear, and that's what Bellator want to hear. You'd have Coker and Dave Green. They're just sitting there thinking, who can we go to when we're basically in the deep stuff, you know? And they think, well, Kent's not fighting till next month. Let's see if he wants to fight as well this month. And they probably know what the answers. You probably say yes before you hear the opponent.
Yeah, no, I think it's whenever I get a message from the matchmaker. It's like you could look at the message. It within 3 messages, it's yes. Like the first 2 would be like, where is it? When is it? Yeah. Sorry, no. He'll say fight March 18th, and I'll be like, who?
Wait.
And he'll be like, so and so, and I'll be like, yes. Be 3 messages.
How about the weight?
And then he'll say that weight.
Yeah, and he'll be like light heavyweight. Be like, yep, let's do it.
I'm like, yeah, sound. That's what. Again, look. I'm not in charge. I'm not the champ. I want to be the champ. So if they tell me to fight someone, I've got to fight someone. That's how it's got to be. Like, I'm not going to duck anyone. I'm not afraid of anyone. There's obviously people who are going to be a tough matchup for me, but I'm going to overcome every single person I get in the ring with.
Is there anyone you like? I'm not saying call anyone out. Okay, don't call them out like in a bad way. But is there anyone in Bellator or any in the divisions who you just like another Melvin, for example? Like you wanted to fight him because of who he was, and it's just a great guy and a great name. Yeah. Is there anyone else in Bellator you see at the moment you'd love to fight? You know, in a friend sort of way.
So the good thing. One of the things, the reasons why it's a good thing for me is because I wasn't before I started fighting. I was never a fight fan. I never watched fighting. I never knew of any fighters. Like, Melvin was one of those people you watch when you're like 8 years old, and like, oh my god, see this man absolutely destroyed someone. Like, your mates put it on their like crappy Nokia phone. It's like 6 of you huddled around at school, and then because when YouTube wasn't massive then, so it was just whatever you saw. And Melvin's name was so big because he was just always knocking people out. He's one of the people we saw. Obviously, then Mike Tyson was the other guy who, to me, is like Mike Tyson's. Is the god to me of fighting. I think he is incredible. And
a big MMA fan as well.
Massive MMA fan. I love it, and I want him to come to the fights. And if he comes to one of the fights I'm at, I'm gonna make sure he goes, man, that Ken Calvin can real hit. And that's what I want, man. I know that's what he will say.
You can die happy.
Yeah, happily. But yeah, so throughout the fight game, like, I've heard people saying, "Oh, that guy's great," and this guy's great. But it's only been within the last 2 years where I've really started to learn more and follow the fighters in the world. So I've got no fear factor of it. Although I'm not going, "Oh shit, that's Melvin Manoff," like who I used to watch years ago. Like, it's just, I'm happy to fight anyone. Like, I've got a clean. I will go in with anyone, neutral head.
That's it, mate. That's it. This is why I love chatting to you, man, because it's always just positivity, and it's always just, yep, I'll do it, you know, I can't wait for the next one. There's no complaining, there's no moaning. It's quite nice, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, that's, again, I work with a guy called Stu Murat. He's an incredible guy for psychology. And we work together, and we started and he started working with me so that I can start going and giving speeches and guidance to troubled schools, underprivileged schools, underprivileged kids at schools. So all the kids have been thrown out of mainstream schools, and he's helped me understand like so much about the way I want to be towards fighting and who I am towards the whole life, and it's all positivity, because as soon as you start being negative, you put yourself back into that hole.
That's it, and that's when you do start getting up in the morning and feeling like you really are going to a job, not doing what you love.
Yeah, and I've done that. I did that for 10 years.
Yeah, mate, I know the feeling. Similar to the jobs I do, I'm a bit fed up of the old 9-to-5 lifestyle. You know, I like my job, don't get me wrong, but if I could do what I do, if I could do something like you full time, even if it's not fighting, I shouldn't probably fight now, especially sitting here with heat pads on my back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Got 62 heat packs on you.
Exactly, yeah. But do you know what I mean? It's the dream, isn't it? Something MMA or fight related in the world. Because people think, oh, fighting world, or a bit underground, a bit dodgy, but it's not. Do you know what? I've met some of the nicest people, mate, through MMA. And if they walk past you in the street, you wouldn't even think they're a fighter.
No,
a boxer, you can tell, really.
And that's a scary thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Like I was thinking, imagine if you saw Johnny Hendricks walking down the road with his glasses on, and his little shirt and tie. You'd be like, who's this little guy?
No, it's Zabib, isn't it? Imagine walking seeing Zabib.
Zabib, yeah, you'd be like, who the bloody hell is this Flamini looking like?
You look over and like 4 guys start on him, then all 4 guys are laid on the floor. You're like, how is that possible?
Jet Li style.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what. And again, like I was lucky that I had the professional boxing side as well. And honestly, the amount of people I've met in boxing and MMA, the community is actually amazing. And I'd love the community of boxing and MMA to join more, so that more boxers watch MMA and more MMA watch boxing, because we're all in the same boat.
Exactly. You're all getting in there and competing.
Exactly. We're all putting ourselves on the line for everyone's entertainment.
Exactly. It's the oldest form of sport, really, isn't it? Combat.
And that's it. Biggest entertainment. Everyone loves combat.
And also, it's the biggest respect side of thing. Like the Japanese are massive on the respect from martial arts, aren't they? You got the Irish and stuff. Or even some of the traveller community. It's all about, fighting to solve your problems and then shake hands afterwards. It's a very old school style of sorting problems.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with that way as well.
Yeah, I think back in the day, wasn't it? I think what film was it? It might just be films I'm bloody watching again. Yeah, I think it was Troy or something, and they had the 2 armies sitting either side, and they just put their best champions out to fight each other.
Amazing opening fight scene with Brad. What's his name?
Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Yeah, beautifully blonde, golden hair. One he just ran and just stabbed Nate Boy in the neck, and that was it. The army bowed down to him.
That's it. And I was thinking, imagine if that's the way we did things nowadays.
Yeah, that in a way it is. It's that I'm from Chippenham. I fought a guy from Italy. So that's my small town fighting a big Italian town.
Yep, you went in there. You jumped up and with your locks,
Yeah, golden locks.
It's cruising through, like soaring through the air.
Yeah.
Well,
no CGI involved.
The way you knocked him out, though, mate, was movie style, though. So...
Yeah, no, that was the way he dropped.
The way that arena went quiet, God.
Mate, do you know what? That was actually that one moment that will stick with me forever, because it like I say it, and I mean it was like so quiet.
I know, like pin drop. You're probably thinking, right, who's going to be the first crowd member to jump over the cage?
Yeah. Like, which way am I looking, or which is the exit?
Because we don't really know much about. Well, I don't myself about Italian. We know there's a few Italian fighters out there, but we don't really know what we know the Brazilians are quite ruthless. They're fans,
Yeah, we have no idea.
The Japanese clap everyone because they see it all as respect, even if you're crap.
The Germans do as well.
Yep.
If you go to Germany and boxing, like it's so weird. If you fight in Germany or you go watch a show in Germany, throughout the whole fight they're silent. They'll sit there in silence, and then when the fight's over, they'll stand, applaud, and sit back down and be quiet.
Yeah, it's just there's no booing.
No, nothing. And yeah, I get. I know I don't get it. I don't get why people boo.
Neither do I, because do you know why? Because they haven't fought in a cage before, mate. It's different when you're in there.
No, it is. But then you got to think like people who. There are people I would boo actually.
Fair enough. Well, it's like in the war, when it was like trench warfare. You didn't think they booed because they stayed back. They held back. Boo! Get out there.
Yeah. But I'd boo people because there's a few who are very disrespectful, and I don't. And there's no need for disrespect.
In what way disrespectful?
As in. Okay. Now I'm not going to go into details, but how fighters are getting when they're slagging off people and they're calling them out, and then they're using personal information to get to that fighters like that to me. Come on, like if someone who I thought was in a press conference, they're slagging me off, and it wouldn't affect me, but if I was watching a fighter slag someone off, I look at it and I think you're so disrespectful. Like, you have no right to be disrespectful. But I get it that they're mentally weak. Like, if they have to try and belittle someone else, then because they can't keep their own mental strength. Then I understand that.
I know, like, some people use mental warfare as like part of their game plan. Like Bisping used to do it really well. You know, obviously Chael Sonnen did it really well. Got him any fight he wanted. And, and McGregor does it as well.
There's a way of doing it.
There is a way of doing it, and as much as people hate the guy, you know, McGregor did it very well. To mention him again, you know what I mean? He made so much money in relatively small amount of time. You know.
Yeah. And I like McGregor because he turned a bit sour towards the end of it, but like he was very witty with how he did it and how he lured people in. Like he wasn't attacking him apart from the end. He wasn't attacking him personally.
Apart from Khabib, but yeah.
That's why I said towards the end.
yeah, man. But still, that's what it's all about. And I'll tell you what, with people who like smack talk and showboat, what do you think? What's your opinion on? You remember when a little while ago MVP he got a point deduction for who was he fighting? I've completely forget now.
Kelly.
Was it Kelly? Yeah, that was it. And he was like on the floor hitting him and pretending to take selfies and stuff. And then he got a point deduction. So my personal opinion on that is that, you know what, if he wants to act like that in the cage, then whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like he pulled the guy's trousers down, you know. But I do see it. But I think it was a bit harsh though to take a point off him for that. But do you find that comes in with the smack talking and stuff?
He knocked him out, so it was no like the point deduction it definitely was Richard Kelly, wasn't it? So he knocked him out, and then he took a point away, but he's won by knockout. How's it? I have to watch that back again because I can't exactly remember it.
No, he took the point away, and then he beat him later on.
Oh, okay. So he took a point. Oh, was he on the floor and then taking pictures?
Yeah.
And stuff like that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then the ref stood him up and took the point. Yeah.
Again, it's not me, but I know people have got to do that stuff to keep their mental on the right track for that fight. Like, so I know that's MVP. So he's obviously MVP's a really nice guy.
Yeah, like, I've met him a couple of times. He's a nice guy.
That's what I mean. So I've caught him in the lift. He's actually a really nice, respectful guy. Like, and I talk to him, and he's fluent, nice conversation. So when he goes into that octagon or into the ring, he's obviously MVP when he goes in there. Yeah. Michael Venom Page out of that. So when he goes into there, he's obviously made that persona. So that's who his persona is.
He's consistent, you know. He's not as if he puts it on. He's always like that. Had the same fighting style, the same attitude.
Yeah, and so I get like that's got to be him. So in the middle of the fight, yeah, a little bit disrespectful, but what you're going to do is taking a point away because someone's flailing some hands and intending to take a selfie.
Do you know what I mean? It's like the amount of times that Nate Diaz, you know, stuck his finger up in his opponent's face and called him a little bitch and all that sort of stuff when he was fighting him, you know.
Diaz is class.
I love the Diaz days. Diaz days, like, come on in, bitch. What's wrong? And slaps him.
Yeah. He's like, Compton, bitch, come on. Compton, like, what? It's like, no, it's Stockton.
Like, the Stockton slap.
Bitch. Stockton. He's like, what?
And what I love about that, yeah. Go on.
No, I was just saying it's brilliant that like he's happy to slap people and just shout at Stockton to him.
Yeah, the Stockton slap, and it makes me laugh that even on the UFC game on PlayStation or Xbox, I mean, you actually you do the Stockton slap on people when you use them.
Can you?
Oh, it's the best.
You've got to be able to. That's like such an iconic move for him, isn't it?
I'm yet to knock someone out with it though. I've got their red bar all the way down, but they just won't knock out from it. But you know, it's still fun to do.
You got him wobbling.
Yeah, you got him wobbling. Yeah, got him staggered from a slap.
Excellent.
Well, those slaps are serious. I keep seeing on Facebook and all these things all the time where people stand there and just slapping each other in the face all the time. It's everywhere.
Those slapping competitions where you just slap each other once and so, or where you keep going till someone quits. Those ones?
Yeah, that's the ones I mean. Yeah, I mean, like, people are just getting knocked clean out from these things.
They're clean savage.
They're open hand punches in my eyes.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's bad, isn't it? And it's always big fat guys as well.
It's like, yeah, I'll know. Yeah, it is. It's like, yeah, I'm a fighter. What do you do? I slap. Shut up.
If you're gonna be fat, mate, you got to play darts.
Okay? Yeah, no, exactly. There's a weight limit for fighting, and it's not fat.
I know they try to find all sorts of ways. Like, do you remember they did that? I think they did that other fighting thing, isn't it? Where they've got aren't they like opposite a small table or something like that, and they've only got one hand free or something mental like that, and it's just
where you hold on to something and then you punch with one hand.
Yeah, and there were people like throwing submissions up and things. It was fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I don't like. What are people thinking? Like,
It's going to hurt yourself badly.
it's just mental, isn't it? Like, I tell you what, I did see as well, like the 5v5 MMA fight in like a obstacle thing, but it's all padded. But then there's like things you can jump on, which are like 3 or 4 feet high, platforms and that. And I was like, that would be so cool because you start 5v5, you would just run, jump up. Because I love all that parkour stuff as well. So like running around, jumping on stuff and smashing into people, and then you go 5v4, then you can team up on people. I think that'd be so fun.
Oh, mate. That would be great. I've seen those other 5-on-5 ones where they're just in a cage or on a big mat as well, mate.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
I think they're actually football firms, I think, like hooligan firms, and get their 5 best guys against each other. I think that's what it is.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh, mate, it's just, you know what? The scary thing is that I was watching a documentary on these Russian football hooligans, and they're actually learning full-on mixed martial arts, mate. I mean, some of them are black belts in multiple things, and then they practice crowd fighting and stuff, using MMA and crowd fighting. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Honestly, they're straight savages. I know hurt people as well.
Yeah, I know. I remember there was a problem when it was in France, the World Cup, and they were running around with GoPros on, you know, just basically causing havoc. You know, and these guys, they all had gum shields and gloves on and everything. Like,
and I say they're trained. Like they can seriously kick your fucking ass in, man.
Muppets, mate, just causing problems, mate. If you want to fight, do what you do and do it respectively. You know?
And that's the problem. But you can get into that now and go like, how many little cowards there are running around jumping people, and it's just, come on, just go. If you think you're hard and you want to fight, go do it.
Yeah, but Ken, when we were younger, it was all about respect. If someone pulled a knife out, they definitely got abused. But nowadays, if anyone gives you mouth, you should always walk away anyway. But if you don't, they're probably going to be carrying something nowadays.
Yeah, so I was very well growing up. I was always sports based. So I was always football. So as soon as school would finish, I'd be at football. So I never really went out and got involved in that. And now I'm working with kids and seeing what troubles are going on, and it's like
scary, isn't it?
I'm so lucky that my parents, like they held me back from all that. They just made me have a focus on football, and that was it.
Yeah, mate. It's like I grew up in like Croydon areas. I don't know if you probably know Croydon, don't you?
Yeah.
And I was very privileged, probably the only person in Croydon to be sent to private education, you know, to get away from it all.
Yeah, you know, and 100%. You're very lucky, because again, you never know what life you could have had if you didn't.
Exactly, you know. So
and it's sad. It's sad that it's got to that point where you've got to go out away from your home area because the education is not going to help you.
Yeah, I think it was just more being a bit snobby, probably. My family think don't mix with them. It's like, well, don't live here then.
Yeah, true. Okay, you picked it.
Yeah, but I guess sometimes you don't have a choice, do you?
No.
Excuse me, I do apologise for keep coughing. I've been a bit sick the last few days. If everyone's listening, thinking, what's wrong with that bloke?
To be fair, I haven't heard you yet.
I mean, to be fair, I do keep flicking my mic off when I'm coughing. To be fair.
Then you've been doing it very well. I haven't heard you once.
There you are.
Yeah,
right.
I've heard you once.
One thing I've written down actually, because I forgot to mention, you know, we were talking about, you know, popularity, and you know, you're really happy with the media, and you know, people chatting to you and stuff, and you're getting bigger name. One thing I noticed when you came in, from when I first probably spoke to you, when I first spoke to you, did you not notice how many more press were actually in the room when you came in? You, like, a lot of times, even on the prelims, because a lot of times, you know, the MMA junkie lot wouldn't come out, and some of the Sherdog people were there, and or different, like, big names, and you listen back and they're all on you. So what did you think about that? Did you even notice that?
No, because when I fought Walter, lost.
Yeah.
Fought Sakara in Italy, no one spoke to me after, and then lost against Manov, so no one wanted to speak to me then, did they?
Well, they don't allow it. They don't bring,
exactly.
They don't bring you back. We do want to speak to you. For
Sorry. I should have rephrased that actually. Yeah, the winner goes to the media circle.
Yeah, that's it. Basically.
And so obviously, I'd lost against Manov, and I didn't. Obviously, I spoke to you after on the podcast, and then like when I walked in, there was 3 or 4 people, and then all of a sudden there was like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah, mate. Okay.
But then I just thought that was the norm of the press.
No, not at all. Like I've been out the back before, and it's been me and one other, and I feel so bad. I'm
Oh,
thinking,
okay.
and how about when I've been out the back before, right, where the fighters come through and there's no one there, and I'm thinking, oh shit, I feel
Oh,
terrible, you know.
mate. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I don't want to say, oh, come then I'll do it. I feel like I'm doing some sort of charity for them. I
Yeah.
feel quite guilty about it sometimes, but it's tough. Like when you've got a newcomer to the organisation, they win. You want to ask them questions and stuff, but when you're
But
not that.
how when you haven't spent so much time researching them?
Sometimes it just comes naturally, Kent. The amount of times I talk to you and people listen back now, and I just have to think, anyway.
Oh, yeah, true. That is, yeah, no, I get that.
No, it's not. To be fair, when I chat to you, mate, Kent, and a lot of the fighters actually I chat to said all of you being such like cushy blokes, it always flows quite nicely. Like
I think
I'm looking at my clock now. It's 42 minutes. And where did that go?
Oh, yeah. To be fair, and that's what I said. I think that's more of a credit. That's a credit to you. And
Oh, don't
again,
let me
that's
blush,
why
man.
I've come back on because, like I said, you spend time talking to me, and we do talk outside of the podcast. And we learn more about each other. So when we do speak, there's more of a flow to it.
So sometimes I forget I'm sitting on a podcast, to be honest with you, and think, oh, this is going to go on iTunes and all sorts of places, and I'm thinking to myself, I've got to stop to remind myself quickly, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I'm recording. Don't say shit, fuck or cunt.
Yeah, I've said it once. So apologies.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. It says, I think as soon as you swear and put it on iTunes, it just says explicit on the bottom, and that's it. So,
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck me, that's fine then.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter at all. I've interviewed a few gentlemen from all around the country in different countries, and yeah, I just gave up asking. It was just everything was see this, and I was like, okay, cool. Don't worry about it. It's fine though, man. I want people to. I want you to all feel comfortable and natural and like the real you. Because obviously, every time I speak to someone for the first time, which you found out, the first question I pretty much ask is like, why did you get into combat sports? Why did you want to be a fighter? Like, what did you see it on the TV or something? Or it's more interesting. I just want to know the backstory. Basically, I want to read your autobiography without actually reading it. I want you to tell me.
Yeah, of course, because then you get the emotion out of it as well.
Yeah, I know a lot about what you've done, things like that, and how you got here. I know about your boxing career as well. Obviously, you did a lot of pro boxing. And do you feel? I'm not trying to blow your horn now, okay? But fights I've seen you in, I find you are quite dominant on the feet. To be fair, do you really find like you quite happily beat anyone on the feet in the division?
Yeah, I think a very high level kickboxer would probably be a bit of a struggle, but I think that would be very easily overcomable. But yeah, again, so if it's the boxing side of it, like it's such a unique game, and it's all timing, and it's all technical, and it's so quick. And the MMA fighters, they're not boxers, they're MMA fighters. So I started off MMA, then it was the boxing, and then obviously I'm while I was doing the MMA, I did the boxing, and the boxing was one discipline. So I've learned one real good discipline, and I've adapted that for my MMA stance and how I'm going to use it for MMA. And if, like I said, the one with the Manzola fight is when I was really started to perfect it, and I was like, I'm really starting to become happy with the stance I'm editing and creating. And it showed against Manzola, didn't it, man? It was just every time he moved, it was like, well, Kent's in my face. Move, Kent's in his face. He shot in one point, and I've spun him round and pushed him away and straight in his face again. Like I've worked out what movements and what are good for me to dominate those positions.
No, exactly. It's definitely evolving like really well for you. But is that the end of the boxing now? Is that it?
Yeah. Like I said in the interview, it was a choice. Boxing don't allow you to do both. They say you have to do one or the other. For some reason, they have the rule book of professional boxing, and it is if you do any combat sport outside of it, which I didn't know, which is why we were doing the MMA and boxing at the same time, because I genuinely didn't know. Like we didn't read page 376.
Third line, smallest print.
Yeah.
How about bare knuckle boxing?
No, that's disgusting.
Oh yeah, you don't like bare knuckle boxing, do you? Sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah, no. I actually went and watched. Me and my friend Billy went and watched a white collar show in Swindon. A friend of mine, Steve, and Martin Hobbs, Steve Murtaugh, put a show on, and we went and watched and I went. There was 3 bare knuckle boxing fights, and luckily they were over within 2 or 3 punches. But like, I was just watching it, and I actually turned away, and I'm like, this, like, heard the sound of Matey Boy's ribs getting punched, and one guy was like 24 stone, and this other guy was like 16 stone max. And they was just swinging. I'm like, I'm looking away, and I'm like, oh, I can. This is how. But nah, never.
Nah, I don't. And then I speak to a couple of people in the organisations, and I don't think they pay very well yet, to be honest with you. And you know what? You haven't got a long fighting career if you do bare knuckle fighting, because all it takes is a couple of shots. You're scarred. Your scar tissue's everywhere. You're breaking your hands easier. Nah,
Yeah,
man,
but
just
you
stick to MMA.
look at Diaz's scar tissue under his eye. You would have that after 3 or 4 fights.
Yeah, exactly. And he's had it after a whole lifetime of fighting.
Yeah, and against the top level people.
Yeah, that's why, like, when he fought McGregor the second time, I thought, oh, he's busted up bad. I said, no, he just needs to get skimmed on that area. You know,
Yeah,
that's it. He's
literally,
open.
you blow it, or actually even look at it, and it just
McGregor just looked at it, walks up to him, grabs his head, and just looked at it like, fucking open up.
It does rip as easier, everyone says.
I'll tell you what we haven't spoken about actually this whole time building the thing. We haven't even spoken about your last fight yet, really, have we? Let's so with your last fight then, walking out again, first thing I'm gonna ask you is, I asked you at the press conference, I'll ask you again, just in case someone didn't watch it. Did it feel more when you walked down, did you feel the same pressure you did when you fought Melvin, or was it completely different? Because obviously Melvin being such a big name.
Yeah, it was more pressure, just generally more pressure, because after getting in the ring with Melvin, and if, like I say, you know, fighting Melvin Manoff's name is an incredible name to have. To then go to fight someone who's got a good record, because he did have a good record, 22 wins, 6 losses, fought on some good shows, fought against some good people, beat some okay people, beat some couple good people.
He hasn't lost. He was on a 7-fight win streak, man.
Yeah, exactly, 7-fight win streak. And I'm like, but it's not Melvin Manoff's name, like, so I can't discredit the hard work I've done over the past 6 months, 8 months, 9 months to get to the fight with Manzola. So it was in my head, like, so I'm mentally I'm great. Like, mentally I'm very strong, and I'm very switched on, and I know what path I am on. With the Manzola, it was just a more added pressure, because obviously it wasn't the Manoff name, and I didn't want to bounce back. I go a loss when I've done so well.
Nah, I see what you mean, mate. I see what you mean. But you did it in style, finishing it in the way you did. Excuse me. First round finish again. You're obviously showing that you can. These are the fights you don't want. No disrespect to your other fighter, you know. You do want these bigger fights.
Yeah. No disrespect to Andy Manzola. Like, he's credited. He's a BJJ black belt and a judo black belt. And he's I know he's got a bit of Thai background from some Thai fights around the UK. So, like, I'm not going to discredit him, but, like, it was just, I've trained so hard that I know what level I'm at now. Like yeah. When I fought Manoff, I was only a shell of who I am now. So I know that what level I'm at now, and I want to be at the highest level to know if I am at that level. Because in my head, I'm at that level, and I want to prove that. So when I get the opportunity, when I get the call, I'm winning the next fight.
That's it. Let's hope.
Well, I'm going to keep winning. I'm going to keep winning until they offer the title fight, and then I'm going to say, yeah, I'll take the title fight, and then I'm going to win the title fight.
That's fair enough. And the title fight. How would you? Well, before I move on to that, actually, I'm going to move on to how would you prepare for that. Actually, let's just ask you now. How would you prepare them for that? A champ, the champ. How would you prepare for someone, you know, with his sort of style?
What, Lovato?
Yeah.
So if I was going to fight Lovato, I would. So, but then it's giving it away.
Okay, let's not tell him that then. No, he's just going to work on his jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I'm going to do some ground game.
That's it, man.
No, I wouldn't. Again, I would just train how I train. I would train my strengths even more. Like I trained my stand-up to the point where I would just dance with him. Like, he wouldn't be able to get me to the point where he wouldn't be able to touch me for a takedown. I would move so fluently that he wouldn't be able to shoot on me, because if he shot at me, he'd miss and I'd make him pay. That's how I'd beat him.
Sure, man. I'd love the next fight. I know you want the biggest name you can get first, but there's been a fight. I'd love to see you take on at middleweight, you and Mike Shipman, man. To me, that's a great fight.
Shipman. No, I don't mind Shipman.
No,
I like Shipman. I think he's cool, very unorthodox. I don't want Shipman though. If you're gonna say names, like if you're gonna say people, like I'd say if you're gonna give me someone, give me Fabian Edwards.
Yeah, the rematch.
Yeah,
definitely, man.
But yeah, exactly. It'd be a rematch, and everyone who knows me knows why I lost that first fight. Everyone who knows me knows why I'd win the second fight. But again, I know that any fight. So that's not me calling Fabian out. That's just me just saying I will fight anyone. I don't care who it is.
You're just saying you'd like to rerun that back because you've changed things now, which were different then, and like to see if you could be more successful. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
No, man, there's loads of good fights out there for you. There's like the Will Fleury as well. So many good fights in that division, mate. You know,
there's loads, and I want to fight four. Well, I wanted to fight 4 times this year. I was supposed to have February, but that was called. I did get offered the February card, but that was then revoked after my performance. They're going to give me someone. I'm hoping for someone bigger.
No, that's good.
But then I want to have an active year, because it's not like, look at Fabian last year and he had 4 or 5 fights.
Yeah.
His Instagram went to like 21,000 followers. Like, and again, that's what it's all about. It's all about people wanting to watch you, and people go watch him because like he had 4 or 5 fights and they saw him fighting and winning. People jump on the winning hype. They're going to see me 3 or 4 times this year, and they're going to see me knock or break mentally 3 or 4 people this year.
Well, you finished all your wins, man.
Well, yeah, and again, like, so if you want to go into it, I'll go into the story about why I know I'll break people now, mentally and physically. So when I first started fighting to the last 2 years, I was working crappy jobs. I was working as a doorman. I was working security guard jobs in the day. I was working as a labourer. When I took the Fabian Edwards fight, I got offered 1,200 quid. To me, at that point in time, when I was on 300-400 quid a week max, 1,200 quid's great. But I'm like, sweet, yeah, this is great. I fight at Wembley. I know I'm not going to get hurt because no one can hurt me. Like no one who I fought has ever hurt me badly.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, sweet. So I took the fight, and again, you can ask anyone who knows me, like, who knows how much training I did for that fight, knows why I lost that fight. Anyone who like my coaches and that, like, I was training once or twice a week at night for 2 hours. Like, that was it. Like that, I didn't. To me, fighting wasn't going to be a career. I was fighting on a show called Raged. I was getting like 300-400 quid for a fight. I wasn't training. I was fighting okay people, not people any good, really. And like, if you look at their records, they're actually turd. No offense to them. No, it's not. That's not me being horrible. That is just true facts. And I took the fight. Like, I took the fight because it was simple. It was for money. I fought because it was easy money. I wasn't seeing it as a career. When I got offered a Sakara fight, that's when people said to me, like, this could get a real career out of this. And if I put my mind to something, I know I will win, no matter what it is. Like, I am that guy who will dedicate everything and give up anything and everything to make sure that that's that. And when I got that opportunity with Sakara, I knew I was going to win because I knew they give me that opportunity. All I needed was an opportunity, and I got it. Where with Fabian and Walter, they weren't opportunities. If I would have beat Fabian, Bama folded, and then that would have been me done. If I would have beat Walter, I would have probably got someone else, but then I wouldn't have been that bothered about it, because I'd be like, oh, cool, whatever, another fight, like a bit of money, but this ain't going to go long. But when you get offered a name like Sakara, and people are saying to you, like, if you beat this guy, they'll have to sign you, and you go and beat him and they sign you, I'm going to make sure I do it.
That's it, mate. And mate, the story unfolds, doesn't it?
What
a great ending.
We'll go into the story more and more as the more podcasts we do, because there's loads of little parts of me I want to get across, and over the period of time we do podcasts, because like I say, I'm working with kids, like I'm learning about myself as well, because my past I had a very shady past, a very like it wasn't, oh yeah, he did really well in fighting, he has crappy jobs. Like I went through a lot of shit, a lot of hell, like mentally battling, fuck me, loads of mental battles, and I've come out the other side and I've done well for myself. So at some points we will get that across, hopefully, if we do more podcasts in the future. But yeah, it's a part of the thing I do with the kids. Like I sit there and I'll speak to them for an hour and a half, and I'll tell them my life story, and then I will speak to them, and then we'll go from there.
That's it, mate. It's what it's all about, isn't it? Giving something back, something you've learned, give it back to the community, sort of thing. And isn't it interesting how you see, actually, a lot of the time, it's no disrespect, there's a lot of people out there who like to help out, but have you noticed there's a lot of people who've actually either been in that situation or who do combat sports that go and talk to these sort of people?
Well, yeah, because I know, and I can almost 100% guarantee you, all of the people who go help out and speak to people, they never had a person to do that for them. So they're thinking, if I can do it, why didn't someone do it for me? I'm going to be that person doing it for a little kid and help out. Because again, throughout my career of sports, I never had one person guiding me and telling me, no, don't do that, don't do this. I fucked up as a football player. I messed up in school. Like I was stupid. I was hanging around with the wrong people. No one told me not to. No one told me not to. My mum was working 2 jobs, so she was never really home. My sister raised us, basically. My father was out always trying to get money and trying to work, because he's a tennis coach, not much work around this small area. So I never had anyone tell me not to. So when I look at these kids now and I'm like, none of them have got a guidance. I'm an athlete. People are starting to recognise my face, and if people recognise my face, and I can positively turn that into a good effect for a child, even one person. Like I know there's one kid who I spoke to, and this was it was just after Sakara fighting. It was very March time, just before the Manoff fight. And I spoke to a kid, and he's had his 3rd white collar fight now. And he's like, he messaged me and said to me, he's like, mate, you changed everything for me. I'm now. He's still hanging around with the wrong people, don't get it wrong, but he's putting his energy into something with good people, because I know the gym he's at. So I know they're good people and they'll help him.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Everyone needs to keep their mind busy, and martial arts is the way to do it. It does teach you how to keep discipline as well.
It's a way.
And a lot of people I speak to, who have kids who do MMA, and even some adults, they say they're actually more scared of their sensei, than they are of their parents. So if they misbehave, parents are taking them to their sensei saying, right, deal with him, he's done this, and this, and they're like, shit, I'm going to get beaten.
Yeah, we Sensei Stu, so Stu Pike, who without him, Dragon's Lair or me or any of the fighters wouldn't have been here. He's like father to us. I used to work for him. Like when I was 17, I was a labourer for him. He was to be fair, actually, he tried, man. He tried to guide me in a way but I was young and naive. Like he used to maybe come to work and then he'd pick me up and take me to training. Like to be fair, Stu Pike did amazing things for me as a kid, but I was young. I didn't listen to him. I was silly, but now I do. And we walk into the gym and like Stu's father. Stu is our father of that gym. So we treat him with the respect we would treat our father.
That's it, mate. It's all one big family, as we said before, mate. All one big happy family.
Like you say, you met Polish number 2, Krzysztof. he's class. You got Greg and Greg. Greg was number 2. Sorry, Krzysztof. Sorry, you're not you. You weren't there, Krzysztof. You met number 2, Greg. And Greg's such a great guy, man. And he's got the same attitude towards the gym, and he's only been there 2.5 years, nearly 2 years.
That's it, mate. You need the right people behind you.
Yeah, and our team is like I say, Stu Pike, and on the MMA side, because our gym is linked with Contenders, the boxing gym. Mark Kent. So you've got Stu Pike, Andy Cochran, who are the two head coaches. Jack Eglin, who's also one of the head coaches.
Oh, really? Is it Jack?
Yeah, he's great. Again, so you've got to think we're Mel. So I live in Chippenham, but Melksham's where I train. It's 15 minutes away. Melksham's probably only got about 20,000 people living in it, 30,000 max, and we've got one gym, and we probably get. Other than me and Jack and the Polish two who go, and Scott Clist and Ben Bunbury, you probably get 2, 3, 4 maybe, and then you get 1 or 2 every week who are randoms turn up. It's not busy. So my training partners obviously are Jack and the Polish twins, Andy Cockram and Stu Pike, on the MMA side. The boxing side, I'm quite lucky. Like if I want to spar, I've got people like Dan Hughes, Stu Greener, Rocco Richards, Paul Cummins, Mark Kent, Jim Walker, who are all pro boxers, and then Stu Murat, who works on that side as well. So under one roof, we've got a great amount of experience, but like no, on the MMA side, we haven't got loads of training partners or people who do train.
So who taught you those leg kicks then? We saw in your last fight. Because I'm not being funny, but the geezer broke his leg, didn't he?
Yeah, he fractured his.
I say he broke his leg.
he broke it. He fell as he walked in. I found out I messaged him on the Monday. He had an X-ray on the Tuesday, and he found out that he fractured his fib or tib. Yeah, again, like that sucks, but like again, that's a sport. I didn't want that, but yeah, the kicks, they're naughty, and
oh mate, you knocked him down twice.
If you type my name in YouTube and search Kent Kauppinen Brad Watchorn, I think it is, and then Matt De Silva, I won both those fights with just 3 leg kicks. No punches. 0 punches were thrown, and they were in the same cage and in exactly the same spot where it ended. So I've always had, like you say, from the age of 3 years old, I was a football player. I kicked. I can kick okay with my left, but my right, if I land that's I don't care who you are, that's gonna hurt.
Nice, mate. So leg kicks, man. That's it. Well, it's a massive used weapon in MMA world. Many champions, Jose Aldo's the king of the leg kicks, isn't he? And
yeah, he was when he fought Faber, wasn't he?
Well, that was just hard to watch. Do you know what I mean? And then you had who was the other one? Barboza's leg kicks are just disgusting to watch as well.
Yeah, Barboza. Well, even Manoff when he fought Lawler.
Oh wait, well when Manoff fought you, when Malvin Manoff fought you, he came out to the back. He couldn't barely walk on his legs.
Yeah, he was on crutches the next day.
Yeah, man. Was that from?
Yeah,
was that from your leg kicks? Yeah,
yeah.
Man,
When I saw him in the hotel after the Manzola fight, and I was chatting to him, and I said, "Oh, how you getting back into next fight?" And he said, "No, I've retired now. That's me over and done with." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "After the fight with you, it took me 2 to 3 months. I know, 1 to 2 months to have fully recovered from the kicks and that." And he was like, "I don't want to be taking kicks like that anymore."
Yeah, I bet.
So yeah, but I should have used them more. Again, learning curve, massive learning curve. Boom. Now that would never happen again.
I think he is fighting still, though, isn't he? Just not in Bellator. I swear I saw something somewhere.
Yeah, he might. His contract expired for Bellator, but he's probably just going to fight in Holland and be. Do you know what I mean? Like Frank Bennett, Frank Bruno, and all them travel round and show off their skills. He'll probably do that.
I don't know. I must have been dreaming. I'm sure I saw he signed something like 1 FC or something. Maybe I was wrong. One championship, but I might have been wrong.
Really? Oh, maybe.
I'm sure I read something somewhere.
Hey, money is money, innit? To a lot of people, like you chuck some money in their way, they'll fight.
I might just be making it up, to be fair, because I'm off googling it and I can't see nothing about it, so I might have just made that up. But I'm sure I read somewhere that he is fighting again, but he's not in Bellator. Like I said, I know he's a loyal guy and everything like that, but hey, if someone offered him something big and you know what I mean? People are coming back. He might be 40-odd years old, but he doesn't act like it, and he doesn't fight like it.
No, he doesn't. And again, like I say, after my fight, he fought Bahati, who's a legit monster.
Yeah, man, big straight out Team Renegade and killers in that gym.
Yeah, and he just messed him up. Like Manoff just ruined him.
And then you think of how you did as well against him. You know what I mean? It just shows that the level you're at and against bigger guys.
Yeah, and that's what I said to you. I know what level I'm at now. I'm excited. Like I'm and it's annoying because I want to fight. I want to fight February, May, August, September, December, November. Like I'm ready. I want to because I know what I'm going to do. Like I know what they're going to see, and they're going to be like, shit. And this kid's actually taking this serious. Like this is legit. Let's see how far he can go. And I'm gonna entertain everyone. I know that.
That's it, mate. Entertaining is definitely what you've been doing, especially with the interesting finish we had, obviously, in your last fight as well. Just a quick forearm across the neck. You know, no one's ever... Obviously, that's never pleasant as it is, but I think I remember you saying you think he just gave up due to the injured... Not gave up, but had to give up due to the leg.
Yeah, he like you said, like, do you want to stand back up? And okay, so you get... The choke, my chokes, my grip, my grip strength especially, and especially when I lock onto someone, anyone in our gym, anyone who's rolled with me, they know if I get hold of you, I've got vice-like grip. It's all the climbing I do. I climb for days, like I climb for hours at a time. I've got vice-like grip. If I get hold of you, and I know for a fact I put that on, but where his leg was so jacked, he couldn't push. Oh, sorry, that's me coughing. He couldn't push to make any effort to get off it, and he probably could have rolled a bit to his left or right and squirmed a bit, but then he probably just led there and went, do I really want this? Do I want to stand back up, and do I want him to risk kicking me again or hitting me again? No, and that's why I said to you, like, mentally I know I'm gonna break people or knock them out.
That's it, mate. Well, you nearly knocked him out again. As I said, with the leg kicks, dropped him 2 or 3 times. I think it was twice, actually. And crazy, mate. It just shows you're a mixed bag. You're not just a boxer. You've got these powerful leg kicks. You're a boxer. You can take them to the ground. You can submit them.
And that's it. And it's great because, like, I'm super fit. Like, I could go 5 rounds, with a grapple fight, with a stand-up fight, mix it up. I know I could do that. But I love that I can finish a fight so quickly because I don't then give the next opponent much to think of. Like from the last fight, we're going to take. He kicks really hard. He submitted someone in the choke that I probably could have got out. They don't know that I've mentally broken this guy throughout that fight. Like the way I've stared him down, the way I've looked at him, the way I've worked, and the way I've cut him across the ring and the octagon, and the way on his back foot, he's got nowhere to go. Like. I know, like I said, I know what step they are. So I've got all that to come. Like you didn't see that. Like I've got the ground game to come. Like there's going to be a time where I want to take someone to the floor, not because I'm scared of their stand up, because I want to show people that if I take someone to the floor, I'm going to hold them there in a position and beat their ass.
Good for some, man. Fighting bears.
No, I just climb walls. I just climb mountains.
Yeah, man. Do you do mountains? So you climb mountains and stuff like that, yeah?
Yeah, I climbed Snowdon on the 28th of December, and I camped there for the night, and then just for banter, me and 3 lads decided to walk the Nice Edge, which in the conditions it was 52 miles an hour wind, pitch black, and if you look on my Instagram, I'll put a video. I'll send you a video actually of the winds, and you'll be like, no, you didn't do that. And the Nice Edge is parts where you could fall and you could die. It's 800-meter drop.
Shit. Why, mate? Let me ask you that. Why?
Because mentally I want to make sure that no one's going to beat me. And I've planned more mountain trips, and we're going to do some real mental gnarly ones.
How about free climbing, man?
We do free climbing, but we don't free solo to the point where you're going to die. Like we'll probably free climb up to about 50 feet. We free climbed a pylon the other day.
50 feet? Surely that would kill you, wouldn't it?
50-meter pylon. Yeah, of course it would, but it's a safe climb.
You know what, mate? I'm just a pussy. I'm scared of heights, mate. I just couldn't imagine myself. That's probably the worst thing I could think of ever doing. But fair play to you, man.
I wasn't great on heights, but I know that, like I said, I want to make sure I can win every fight, and I know I can because of what I'm doing. Like,
fair enough.
I won't give away too much because there is so much more I'm doing, but what I'm doing is enough to be a champion, and I will be a champion.
Yeah, man, I hope so, mate. We need to get some titles wrapped around some British waists. You know?
Well, that's it. Give it a couple of years. We'll have some titles wrapped around my waist, and we'll be doing podcasts still. And you'll be doing this as a job full time, and then I'll be asking you to podcast me because I'll be like, yo, any chance you get me getting on your show?
Yeah, you'll be the champion. I'll tell you, I'll be your PA. I'll just
Yeah,
follow
we'll
you around
work
with
it.
a cup of coffee and stuff like right. I'll tell you what, I can be the dog sitter.
Mate, no, Alan's coming with, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no,
can
no.
dog sit. Yeah.
At the
100%.
event. At the
Yeah,
event.
deal. Yeah, and we'll get Alan backstage passes. He's a boy, such a kiddie.
I know, mate. So when's he gonna get? When are you gonna get him a Mrs. French Bulldog?
So he's one. I reckon. I want to get him about 6 or 7 years old. I'll get him a female, and then I'll breed them. But what I would do then, so by that point, hopefully I'd have been at a stage of life where I might have children, or with a girl who potentially I might have children with. And then I want to pass Alan's kids down to my kids and do that, because he's my first dog. So, and if I have him for 12, 13, 14 years, it'd be a nice thing just to keep in the family. If we could ever keep it in the family, and that'd be good.
Yeah, mate. Have lots of generations of him.
That'd be sick.
Alan the second, Alan the third, the fourth.
Yeah, and that's what and 100% you have to have Alan the third, Alan the fourth, Alan the fifth.
That's it, mate. Because a lot of people say you can't name it the same as the other dog, but you know you can. It's
Damn right I can.
Yeah, it's royalty, man.
My dog.
Hierarchy. Yeah.
Yes, I'm a hierarchy.
Everyone's like, what were the vets? What will the vets say? I was like, well, I had a cat one time, and I called it Runt, because when the cat had kittens, it was the runt of the litter, because we always let our cats have a litter, because it was just, we felt like they should.
Yeah.
And we kept one, and she was the runt of the litter, and Mum said,
you called it Runt?
Well, it was Runt. You know, she was the
runt of the litter.
And it was my cat Runt. She lived for about 16, 17. She only died like this year. But
nice.
But all my cats lived for a long time, and they're all at my mum's house. You know what I mean? And it's just like, if I want to call my mum's like, well, what happened to the vet? So the vet's like, is Runt available? I'm like, yep. And everyone looks at you like you're some sort of wanker.
Yeah, but they come out Runt, and you're like, yeah, that's me.
You just want to say to the vet, what's your cat's name? Wanker.
Yeah. Some people would probably actually do that as well. But you know how people get? They'll get the doctors and that. They get very defensive against funny names, don't they?
Yeah, but I'd put 2 dots above the A and say it's Swedish.
He's Swedish. What does it mean, Tom?
Yeah, it means Tom. It's not wanker, sorry, it's wanker.
Yeah, it's wanker.
I'm really sorry to any Swedish listeners.
Yeah, I know, and it's great because there was the Swedish people at my fight one there.
Yeah,
no,
man,
it was Finnish. No, it wasn't.
No, it was Finland.
Yeah, it was Finland. Yeah, no, it was.
Mate,
they're cool, they are.
That was a good night, mate, that night. I really enjoyed that night, the last card. It was definitely a good show, mate. Yeah, good fights as well, mate, with yourself and everyone. You know, yeah, mate, it was definitely a good evening.
Yeah, no, I got a good vibe from it. And it's quite funny because after, I think, did me and Jack run into you after we flipping? So we went back upstairs after my fight, wrapped down, chilled out, and then one of the runners come to us, and he was like, one of the runners is the person. If anyone else doesn't know, a runner is someone who comes and get the fighters when they're ready to go on stage. And one of the runners come and said, "Oh, do you mind cornering one of the girls next door because she's only got one corner man and she wants 3?" And she was, I don't know what foreign she was, and me and Jack ended up cornering her, and it was the girl who got knocked out in like 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah, you did a good job, man.
Well, I thought that, and Jack looked at me and was like, "Should we go in there?" And I was like, "Jack, I'm not going in there. Get out of here." So then we left.
You just left with her knocked out in the cage?
No. She got up, obviously. Her main trader was in there.
It's like Snatch style when Brad Pitt got knocked out. Go! Shit,
Yeah, that's me. No, but like in all fairness, like I said, "Oh, what?" I said to him, "I said, what do you want us to do?" He said, "Just sit there, don't do anything. I'll talk to her. She'll listen to me." And I was like, "All right. So do you want us to do anything?" He's like, "Just hold the bucket." And I'm like, "I've just had a fight like an half hour ago, and now I'm stuck here ringside holding a bucket."
You're going up in the world, man.
Yeah, it was actually quite fun.
As I said, mate, when they need someone last minute, they think about you.
Exactly, and that's it. And again, like, I did it because, like, why not? Like, if they wanted someone else there, just to have someone there. then what's it to do? Why can't I help someone?
That's it, mate. He's a hero. He's a hero that everyone. If you need a backup corner man, if you need someone to hold your spit bucket, yeah, he'll fight all night and he'll even come and back you up in your corner. Hey, it's a good thing to do. Some fighters be like piss off, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, no, 100. Like I say, I've learned a lot from my time, and like I say, I'm only 28, but I've learned a lot. And respect is the main thing, and helping others who you can help. That's another main thing.
That's it, mate. Help people on the way up, because if you do ever come back down, they'll look after you.
Exactly.
That's that says, mate.
Yeah,
that's it, mate. Don't be an arsehole all your life. That's it. Like, look at people like Colby Covington, for example. I don't want to talk too much about him because I don't like the geezer that much. I'm not going to hide it. Yeah, and I'm telling you now, he's pretty much on the way back. Dave, he's complaining he didn't lose that fight. He lost that fight. Simple. You know what I mean? He got knocked out.
Let's say he got stopped.
He got stopped, and his jaw got broken. He got messed up.
I lost. I didn't lose, but you got stopped.
Yeah. So but thing is now, if he loses again, no one's going to want him on their organisation. The only thing he can do is go to WWE. They love that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll probably pay him a lot of money.
Again, this is why, if you're gonna. So obviously he played that game of that role he filled of being an arsehole and no one liking. You want to play that role when you fight someone who's going to beat you. And there's a few in Bellator and there's a few in the UFC. When you fight someone who's going to beat you, that hype train gets derailed. No one cares about you. No one cares at all. Where if you watch people like Forrest Griffin, actually, like, he's one of my heroes as well. Actually, I love him.
Yeah, man.
You watch him, like, he lost, but people didn't hate him. They loved him because he's such a gracious and fortunate guy. So once Colby's been derailed, and he has, no one's talking about Colby. No one. Colby is talking about himself because he needs his name out there because he's lost. No one wants a rematch. No one wants anything to do with him now.
No, of course they don't.
No one remembers the bad guy.
No, but you got to say, I keep saying his name. People are going to think I'm a McGregor lover, but like, he gave it all the smack, and the best thing is when he fought Jose Aldo. Just knocked the guy out, and so quickly after all that smack talk he said about he'd beat out Eddie Alvarez. Look what he did to him.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
It's just,
but again, McGregor's a rare occasion because he's very smart as how he did it, and he was very witty. He did what Muhammad Ali did, but just with a twist on it. Like he did it joyfully. That he made people watch it.
Yeah, man, that's it. And people want to watch his, as much as everyone says, oh, he's a dickhead, he's this and that. I guarantee you, they all watch his fight.
100%. Like, McGregor is a knob for what he's done.
Yeah.
But you can't help but love him. I think he's great, and genuinely, like, I watched his interview earlier on YouTube, and I look at him, and he's and I hope if I'm not, I'm misreading his body language completely and everything about him. But he's put himself in a dark place with this camp, as in, like, he's gone back to his roots like he should have done with the Khabib fight. Yeah. And he's really put in the work because he looks ready.
Well, he said he wants to fight 3 times next year, you know. So.
Yeah, great, sick, man. And I think, and if he does, and I'm rooting for him because I love a story about a guy who fucks up their life and then comes back and does well out of it, because that's exactly what I did. And those stories are the ones which give these kids who are younger generation a vision that it can be done, instead of going, well, no one's fucked their life up and done well out of it. Well, no, I have fucked my life up, and look at me now. I'm on one of the leading top 10 non-official rankings list with one of the biggest MMA organizations in the world.
That's it, man.
It can be done. So, and I say I'm rooting for him. Like, I want him to do well, and I want him to get back on and I want him to and live and have a good legacy, because everyone jumps on that bandwagon of, oh yeah, he's a wanker. He's like, yeah, he is. Oh, he's never going to change. But all that negativity, why don't we flip it? Like, let's have him change. Come on, Conor. Let's root for you to change. Yeah. Sort your shit out. Why don't people do that?
Because everyone loves to hate, man. Exactly. Everyone loves to hate, mate. Everyone loves to hate, and secretly they go home and watch all YouTube videos of him, mate. They love to hate.
Yeah.
I've seen it all the time. I get loads of shit for saying how much I like McGregor on these podcasts and stuff, man. But do you know what? I don't care. Say what you want to say. The guy knows how to make money, and he did it bloody well. You know what I mean? And as Dana White always says, he made something like made the company like $4 billion in 1 year.
And it's like when people mug off Tyson Fury for going WWE. He made 12 million for like 6 weeks' work.
You telling me you wouldn't do that?
Mate, I would do anything. Like what if he's a smart man, and he's going into a business with, going into a movie with Stallone. Stallone contacted him and said, "I want you to be a main villain. Let's get you trained up." And
new Expendables film. Yeah.
And I'm like, sick man, what a legend! Like what a guy! Like how he's exploring so many different ventures. Like that's and people are, and I said people love to hate, and that's what they do. They're like, putting him down because he's doing something amazing. Why are you putting him down? Let him do something amazing.
Yeah, mate, he didn't do it too bad. He came from living on sites to like pikey sites and whatever. You know what I mean?
And now look at him. He's one of the best boxers in the world. Looking to go into movies, been on WWE, looking to go into MMA because he will do it.
Yeah, he will come into MMA. He will. He'll come into it.
And it annoys. And do you know what? It annoys me because not Tyson Fury to come to the A. What annoys me about the boxing, just completely switching subject, is I could have been probably the first person who potentially could have won a big boxing title and won a MMA title as well.
That'd be nice.
Because I would have I had the Ultimate Boxer lined up, which was you have 3 fights one night. Would have won all 3 comfortably, and then the guy who won it, I think he's fighting for European title, European title or British title. So that would have been great. Like now, but Tyson Fury's going to get to do it. Tyson Fury's got a world title now. He's going to come over to Bellator or UFC. He's going to fight. He's going to, and they're going to big is the first person who's ever done it really well. And I'm going to be like, damn it, that could have been me.
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting, mate. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, he'll do well. He'll do well. Like I said, sorry to cut across you, but I said he will do well, man. Like his range and distance and timing is so perfectionist. Like he will make sure when he goes into that, if someone's going to step in to take him down, he knows he's in his range of what he's got to throw and how he's got to move to make sure he's safe. I do it.
Exactly. And he's going to be strong as anything. And they say about boxers, they'll take a leg kick and they'll know all about it. But I'm sorry, mate, the toughness of where this guy's come from. Yeah. He used to get punched in the head probably growing up for fun. It's just whatever.
He's a fighter. He's a fighter.
He don't care if you kick him in the legs. He's probably been in he's probably been in some sort of fights where it is like a no holds barred, probably. Growing up back in the day.
He probably had baseball bats to his shins.
Exactly. He probably couldn't give a shit about any of that sort of stuff.
He's he's got that mentality of he's going to do anything and he's going to do it, and that's what I love about him, because he is so positive. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and it's like, yes, man. That's what we need to get behind, and that's what people need to be more like.
No, for sure, mate. That's exactly what more people should say. Like, and even Mayweather's come out again. Dana White actually said in an interview, he said that they've been talking about him fighting in MMA. They didn't say if it's me in the UFC at all. You know what I mean? But he wants to do it, so we'll see what happens with that.
What Mayweather wants to fight mixed martial arts.
He wants to fight in MMA, and Dana White confirmed that. And is a interview with Brett Okamoto. I can never say his surname. Okamoto, the ESPN guy. And he was chatting to Dana White, and Dana White confirmed that him and Floyd Mayweather have had a handshake agreement about something, and that they can definitely help boost each other's career. He was saying, and you know what I mean. So, and then he says he will fight in MMA, and someone said, "What, in UFC?" He says, "No, he'll fight." He didn't say no. He said, "I can't say that." But there you are. So
we all know it'd be UFC.
Of course it will be. Yeah, otherwise you would have said no.
Yeah,
but, it'd be interesting.
Mate, and do you know what? It should happen. Like, there should be crossovers. There should be crossovers. Look at Adesanya. He fought how many kickboxing fights, how many other things, and no one cares. Like, he's done it all. Like, there should be allowed crossovers. Like, you should be allowed to do other stuff. It is a sport. Yeah, I get it. You're contracted to that company, but there needs to be some sort, because look what's happening. Like, Canelo may fight Maldivez, and if he does, it's gonna make everyone watch it, and that's what we want. We want the sport to grow, and I think that is a good way of just having crossover fights and crossover things.
So I want to see all sorts of crossovers, man. I want to see crossover MMA as well. I want to see Bellator champions fighting UFC champions and all sorts of stuff, mate.
100%. I'm 100% agree with
Imagine
that.
if you saw that Pitbull fight. I forgot his name. How can I? Cejudo. You know what I mean? Imagine that division.
We'd have to. We'd have to do it. We'd have to do it by USADA rules, and that'd be great because then it would wheedle out all the cheats. Because we know
interesting.
Because we know there's some. Moving on.
Let's hope that. Let's just hope that improves in that world sooner rather than later.
To be honest with you, I'd love USADA to come to, or not USADA, or the same type of thing to happen in Bellator because, like, Bellator's huge, man. Such a big sporting event and such a big event, and if someone's using something which can potentially not be undetected by a normal test, and they hurt someone, like they could really potentially hurt someone.
Well, I'm sure they will be cracking down. They're so big right now. They're on the same par as the UFC, I'd say, in some levels.
Yeah, 100%. In some levels, they are up there, and I think, and I've known coaches from the UFC and Bellator, and a lot of them prefer Bellator because of how relaxed everyone is and how friendly everyone in Bellator is. Because Scott Coker is super friendly, man. Like, he comes up and he knows all the fighters' names. He knows on the day of the fight card, he'll be able to go up and talk to everyone on the fight card and who they are because he loves the fighting.
Yeah, man, he's a nice guy, man.
Like, I know Dana White probably will as well, but like, do the real owners know that?
No, exactly.
So yeah, Bellator's huge, man, and I would love a crossover between Bellator and UFC. That'd be sick. Like you say, top 3 Bellator fighters, top 3 UFC fighters in each weight category, and you just do it over like 3 weeks. That'd be sick.
That would be good, wouldn't it? But the problem is, though, half of them are former UFC fighters anyway. So you'd have, like, in the middleweight, you've got Machida, you've got Masasi. You know?
I know, yeah, that is true.
And
but then
hopefully
in 2 years' time when they do it, well, no, not hopefully, in 2 years' time when it may potentially happen, because once I get championship, I'm going to say that to them. I'm going to say, Scott Coker, let's get on him. Let's do this. Like,
yeah,
when I've got a bigger leg room, a bit of leeway, like when I've got my foot in the door firmly. Like I'm gonna start putting some ideas out because I want my name to go huge. So it's not just Bellator. So I want everyone in the world to remember me for fighting now.
Well, you'll get that, mate, when you fight in Bellator in the States and all around the world, mate.
No, and 100% agree. But you know as well as I do, UFC have a different fan base to Bellator. Bellator is more real fight, more of a. UFC's got all the WWE fans watching it, like you know what I mean. Like Bellator, people who watch Bellator are more hardcore fans.
Yeah, no, you're right. Bellator is more of a, I won't say niche sort of thing because it is getting a lot bigger in the UK, especially with the European series and all that sort of stuff. But you are right. UFC is still the number one MMA organisation out there.
Yes, yeah.
But you know, I don't want to go into it too much. But on the pay scale sort of things, you know, Bellator, if not sometimes better, is on the same sort of par.
100%, and we all see the leaks of the money and that and what people get paid, and the top end of Bellator is par with UFC,
especially with all your own sponsors as well. Like
yes.
You look at people like Gegard Mousasi. He went over to Bellator when he was on a win streak, you know, because he went over to Bellator. He's got all his own sponsors, and he actually stated that I actually get paid more for my sponsors than I did from just fighting.
Yeah, he probably gets 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, £100,000.
Yeah, and Reebok with you, that dissing Reebok, obviously, they're a great brand to have. Not that I'm an ambassador for them. Yeah? Okay, I can't say anything, I've got to behave. But they, but you know what I mean? They're giving some of these guys like $2,000.
Yeah.
2,500 quid. Don't get me wrong, it's alright, it's good money. But if you're contracted to the UFC and you're fighting 3 times a year and you're getting paid what? Let's say $15,000 if you're really on the prelims. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that you're earning less than $20,000 a fight. So that's that's what, 45, not even, sorry, it's $45,000 a year. Then you've got to pay tax, your coaches, your gym, your everything.
Yeah, you're looking at about 25k.
And then also your own bills.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you end up being on 18k a year.
You might as well go back and try and just go work as a deputy manager at McDonald's, mate. You'll earn more money.
36k a year.
23, 24k a year.
Which is again, Bellator's grateful because it gives the opportunity. Like my sponsors, I love my sponsors, and I'd never charge them more than what I do because they're all my friends, and if I ever need anything, they'll give it to me.
Of course, just enough to help you get by.
Well, they just like whenever I go into camp, I work out my food, my petrol, and just in case I need any equipment, and how much that's going to cost me for a whole camp. And I've got 6 or 7 who will give me 2, 3, 4, 500 quid a fight a camp, and that's all I need because I don't need loads of money. I can live off nothing. Like I travel around, we do mountains and stuff like that. Like we go climbing. I don't need fancy stuff. So as long as they cover my camp, that's all that is. And but I know on the last, who was it? I can't remember who it was, but not on the London card, the one before, one of the sponsors I found out paid one of the fighters 40k.
Huh.
And I'm like, what? That's ridiculous. 40k. But it's out there. But I'm not looking for it. I'm happy with who my friends are.
Yeah. Well, that's the main thing, mate, because you look after them and it will help their business grow from the sponsorship and they'll grow with you,
And that's it. And I mean, and they've helped me out from when I had nothing, so I'm going to carry on helping them out.
That's it, mate. It's all about helping people out, as you said, friends, kids, all that sort of stuff. It's the main thing. I'll tell you what, mate, excuse me, before I let you go, there's a question. We've just had a lot of festive seasons, New Year's and and Christmas and all that. Happy New Year, by the way, mate. I forgot to say that.
And and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, mate. God, it's going to get emotional. Right, anyway, what I always want to know is, I know you've never fought around the Christmas period and New Year period as such. I know you fought in January, but later on and things like that. But how, as a fighter, would you prepare for a fight around like Christmas time, or just after Christmas? Like, let's say you're fighting the 28th. What do you do? Do you just not eat? Just not drink? Do you just sit there and dehydrate yourself on Christmas Day? Well, how would you do something like that?
I'd find it quite easy.
Yeah.
Because I don't drink. I don't go out really. What works for me? You're asking me. I'll tell you what works for me is I'm so switched on that over the Christmas period, the only thing that I had which was naughty was a box of Lindor chocolates.
How about? I mean more like the Christmas dinner, because eating a full Christmas dinner.
All I ate was turkey, or chicken or pork, with vegetables.
No carbs.
No, nothing. Well, it depends. So for the roast dinners, for the Boxing Day and the Christmas Day dinner, it would be vegetables, a few potatoes, and then my meat, and that was it. What I put in my body, I'm very careful with what I put in my body.
God, I wish I could be like that, man. That's my New Year's resolution. I'm going to start being careful what I put in my body. And I'm sitting here looking at 200 packs of crisps I've had already today, in like the last hour.
Yeah. You mean two like packs of 8 crisps?
Do you know what? I have got 2 packs of 8, to be fair.
How did I know?
That's it, mate. Do you know what? I'm pretty good on like munchies and things like that.
What's your flavour? What's your flavour, Chris?
It's just crisps, mate. Mate,
it what, all flavours, or what's your go-to?
Okay, right.
Well,
with crisps, yeah. Don't worry about. I hate Walker's Sensations, right? I don't need posh crisps. Okay, you can keep your posh crisps. They're shit. I don't need thyme and garlic on my crisps.
Yeah, they're not for you, are they?
No, you can keep them, right? My favourite, I don't know. If I'm talking like cheap crisps, is Roysters. Do you know what Roysters are? They're next to Space Raiders, mate.
Okay, yeah, I may have seen them.
My favourite crisps, mate, have got to be fucking just flame grilled McCoys, mate. You can't really beat them.
Yeah, they're the ones. When I used to eat crisps, they were the ones.
Or something prawn cocktail-y.
What
am I talking about? Monster Munch pickled onion.
Monster Munch pickled onion, they were bangers.
Who doesn't like Monster Munch pickled onion?
Space Raiders were the boys as well.
Well,
Do you know when you're chucking them all out, they used to be the amazing, but they had to stop them all because of all the crap that was in them.
Yep. Do you remember pickled onion Walkers, the green packet, the light green packet?
Yeah.
There's a few little shops that still sell them. They were the one, by the way.
They're like in Chippenham. Again, it's a very small place. You have like 1 or 2 MS2s, and if you know what MS2 is, like the old school convenience store where you went down there and you had one guy stood outside waiting to buy you fags, and it's like, oh, okay, it's dodgy, but they'd still sell the old school sweets, like the 5p sweets and the Freddos, and it's like, yeah. place to be.
Oh, mate, that's what I miss, mate. I hope no one's cutting weight while they're listening to this. It'd be a nightmare.
Yeah. There's someone, Jack Egland probably.
Do you know what though, mate? I've got like two. I had like 2 recycling bags just full, mate, of chocolate from Christmas, mate. I'm like, what am I going to do with all this? You know what I mean? So my missus had a great idea. We had loads of Lindt bears and all that sort of stuff, yeah. So she just melted them all down and made hot chocolate with milk. I thought that was banging.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. I was going to
mate.
take that way down and do something with it, but what, I didn't know.
I'm not a huge sweet tooth man. I'm a savoury man, you see, but still, it was nice.
What did you have chocolate-wise?
Oh, mate, I'm not going to start listing it now. It's ridiculous.
Is it that many, is it?
That many, mate. That many. It was anything you could probably think of, to be fair. From selection boxes to Toblerones to everything, mate. It was...
Yeah. So you definitely wanted not to. You definitely didn't want to finish going through that then.
Well, we'll start. My New Year's resolution is that I need to sort my life out. Okay, and try and get sort of fit
Just
a little bit.
Just to not do one thing, sort the whole life out.
Yeah, just to sort my life out. Well, I've done pretty well. I got married last year.
Yeah,
sorry.
Congratulations. Yeah, I
Thank
did
you,
congratulate you on your photos.
No, I did, mate. Thank you very much. So yeah, I got married last year. So that was a good achievement. And I started doing MMA journalism and podcasting last year. So that was a good year. So yeah, it's all good. So New Year's resolution is just to sort my body out, mate. You know what I mean? Stop abusing it with fags, and I don't drink alcohol, but cigarettes and bloody munch and just not good shit.
Yeah,
mate.
and that's the thing. The combination of cigarettes and crappy food really.
And no exercise.
Yeah.
I used to exercise a lot, mate, but I just lost interest.
Yeah, mate. Find your flow again, innit?
I know. Well, I actually started training in MMA. You know, not to compete, because obviously my back, I'm not going to go into it. I've said it a million times, like 3 bulging discs, sciatica, it's just a nightmare. But I just found myself after a while, it's just, I don't know. I enjoyed doing that, because going to the gym I find is very boring, just lifting weights. I couldn't think of anything worse.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll tell you what, I can get fit by like learning something. So I started learning boxing, and I didn't realise how actually complex it was. And then when I saw jiu-jitsu, because obviously I watch it on TV, but when I was actually learning jiu-jitsu, I thought, shit, there's so much to think about. You know, like I thought I knew about it just by watching it. Obviously not.
Mate, yeah, it's another level.
It is another level, isn't it? Especially with like gi jiu-jitsu and stuff. I'm like, bloody hell, man.
Yeah, there's so I like, even me, like, if someone said to me, how good are you at jiu-jitsu, I'd be like, I know about 1%. Like, there is so much to know, like. And even black belts after 10 years, that if you say to them, do you know how much to know, that they'll be like, nah, there's still loads more to learn.
Of course there is, man. There's things with jiu-jitsu, is even the Gracies say they're still learning new methods and new ways of doing things and stuff like that. And it's evolving massively, and I just think it's incredible when I'm watching these guys roll in the gym and stuff doing jiu-jitsu, and I'm thinking, and you do that while getting punched in the face, you know, and I'm thinking. That's why I love MMA. It is complete.
Mate,
It is complete fighting sport. You know what I mean? Without dirtiness, like bull shots and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's it. It is like I always say. It's to me, it's the ultimate warrior sport.
It is, mate. You can't just be good at one thing. So yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. So before I let you go, then, what's your New Year's resolution apart from to win a title?
I don't have one.
Like it. That's what I like to hear. Easy.
My resolutions, no offense to anyone who does resolutions on New Year's Day, but my resolutions don't lie to one day. I make a decision. So say tomorrow I wake up and I'm like, I need to do that to make sure I achieve my goal. That is out of the window, that I've done it. So if I was a smoker and I said, I need to stop smoking tomorrow, otherwise I'm never going to make my goal, I would stop smoking. Like nothing comes in between my mentality and where I want to end up.
Fair enough, man. I wish I had that sort of willpower with you, mate.
But again, I'm in a different sport. I'm in a different world. Like to be at the best, in the UFC and Bellator and one FC. Like you've got to live like the best.
Yeah, but the Diaz brothers seem to smoke loads of weed and still fight pretty well. To be fair.
Yeah, but you also know what Diaz trains like a motherfucking god.
Yeah, exactly. You don't see many training videos of him. He keeps that stuff quiet.
And you don't see many training videos of me, and there's a reason why of that.
That's it, mate. They can see what you're learning in the cage. Cool, man. But Kent, as always, mate, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
We broke our record from last time, I think. We're over an hour and a half now. We've done pretty well.
Is it?
Yeah, man. Hour and 40 minutes, I think we're up to now.
Yeah, I didn't even I just looked at the time and I was like, What time do we start? 'Cause it's 10 to 8 and it's still early and it's a Saturday night. I can get my boogie on.
That's it, man. I'll give you plenty of time to go out. But before I let you go, just give us, obviously, do what you do. Sponsors, shout out to your sponsors, your gyms, and all sorts of things, mate.
Nightmare. Where's my...
Look for your t-shirt quickly.
Yeah, I was looking for that. I know I put it in there earlier. Where is it? So, obviously, it's here as well. First one? No. Is that it? Yeah, I think it was. So, firstly, I'm gonna Stu Pike. Right, he's top of the chain. With Mark Kent, Andy Cockram, Jack Eglin, Scott Clist, Ben Bunbury, Mark Clark, Ash Westover, and then you got the Contenders boxers. MMA, Polish 1 and Polish 2, Greg and Christoph, love them too. It's because they haven't been in the gym. I've been forgetting about them recently because they haven't been in the gym for like 9 weeks, lazy fucks. Boxing side, you've got Mark Kent, Jim Walker, Smudger, Lee, Jim, Stu, Rocco, Dan Blackwell, Paul Cummins, Stu Murat. And then the sponsors, you've got Richard Henley, iFixer, Contenders, Bad Boy Supplements, Melksham Scaffolding, Inside and Out Roofing, First Step, which is a gym, all PAYE solutions. And you have a guy called Chris. I have a guy called Chris Clancy, and a guy called Phil Ramsden, who Chris owns a company, a CBD company, sends me all of his CBD products to make sure that I'm getting the best stuff. Purity, his company. And he's a great guy. Really, he just sends me stuff. He's like, "Do you need stuff?" And I'm like, "No, not really." He sent me 500 last week, and he's like, "All right, I'll send you some more." And I'm like, "You're a legend." Like so he's a great guy. Sheaf, they send me all my underwear, my clothes, tops, and that. They're real nice. The boxers are great. Like, I swear to you now, if there's any men watching this who fight or in sports, Sheaf boxers, SHEATH. Their briefs and the boxers are so comfy. You then got the last two, Scott Garraway. He's one of my closest friends. But he's a physiotherapist, paramedic, and he literally will do as much treatment on me as I need. And even now, like, I've not got any fights lined up. I spent an hour at his house earlier, and him giving me treatment. And then Will Edwards will last because he's great. As in I don't want to go too much into it because he knows why, but he's a great guy. Like, he puts a lot of effort into me. And then Stu Murat, who I work with, psychology. They're brilliant as well. So those list of people, and there's more people who I've got who, like Phil Wells. I nearly forgot them. That's bad. Dan Hughes from Scorpions Gym, Phil Wells, Craig Rawlins. Dan Hughes is my kickboxing coach, and anyone knows Dan Hughes is a kickboxing coach. He was an ex-world champion kickboxer. He's phenomenal. And then Phil Wells, obviously Cage Warriors, and Craig Rawlins. So they're my training partners as well because they're from another gym. They're from Swindon, so I go train with them. So yeah, those guys, they're great. Like that list above, and this is what I mean. Like, people don't see they only see the fight. They don't see the training camp. They don't see the amount of effort my friends, my sponsors, my family are all putting in. So, and again, yeah, thanks to my family and my friends because they put up with me when I'm grumpy, moody. I don't want to speak to anyone because I spend 2 or 3 weeks where I don't see any of my friends, or in a training camp. The last 3 weeks, I just sit in a room, train, sit in a room, train, sit in a room. That's my life because I know I need to win. So that's the way to win. So thank you to all those people. Like, all those people. And then I can chuck it back at you and I can say thank you to you because you, Chris, you supported me and you saw that I've done well. And even with the man off fight I've lost, and you still want to know my story and you still want to talk to me. So I appreciate that.
No worries, man. Anytime. I appreciate you coming on. You know, you're definitely going to be a regular guest on our show, mate. So, no, thank you again for taking time out of your day, especially on a Saturday night. You like me, staying in on a Saturday.
Yeah, man.
Definitely getting older.
Literally, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna sit and play COD.
Oh, I'm going to say it now. I'm going to get stick. I'll play Fortnite. That's what I play.
Chris, I'm sorry to say this.
I think Ken's about to hang up on me.
We can no longer be friends.
It's cross-platform. Let's play.
I haven't even got Fortnite downloaded.
Yeah, that's all right. Come on. Everyone says this to me, and then I get them hooked.
Okay, yeah. Wait, hold on. COD is cross-platform. Why don't you come and play with me?
Because I played COD all my life, and I think I'm actually fed up of it.
Nah. This new COD is sick.
Fine.
This has sucked me in. Like it's a Saturday night, 8 PM, and I'm gonna sit on my Xbox for 3 hours. Like, how sad am I?
What's your gamer tag on Xbox, Ken?
I'll tell you after.
I was going to see if you said it out loud.
No, I would say it out loud, but it's not. It's like people get offended by it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Like, it's not even offensive. It was when I used to play in Halo. Like, I used to be a geek and used to play Halo loads. Me and my friends started a clan, and we called ourselves the clan name. But they're like, well, that's quite rude. Why'd you say that? And it's like, not racist or anything bad. It's just some people, when I play people online, they're like, you're a dick, man. Your name's shit. And I'm like, yeah, it is, but it's my game tag, not fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough. Yeah, man, we'll definitely play some games, mate, for sure.
No, we're on it.
Cool, man. Well, again, Ken, thank you very much. I'll hopefully see you. Well, I won't see you in February. I doubt I'll get out to Ireland. But good. I really hope you get a fight there. And if I don't get to see you there, we'll definitely chat before and after your fight, mate.
Yeah, definitely will, Chris. Thank you, man.
No worries, mate. Again, Ken, Happy New Year. And go watch some TV with your little bulldog, mate.
I will do, man.
That sounds a bit rude. He's got a French bulldog.
Yeah.
I missed it earlier.
Cute one as well.
Yeah, he's got a lovely cute bulldog. Brilliant. Right, lovely way to end the show. Again, Ken, have a lovely evening, mate.
And you, thank you.
Bye, mate.
Bye-bye.
If you've liked this podcast, be sure to subscribe on iTunes. We're live every Sunday at 8:30pm talking MMA. Go to facebook.com/martial arts chat, give us a like there, and follow us on Twitter at martial arts chat.
Change your heart.